Really excited to be bringing all these amazing guest speakers to you. I'm Captain Preetham Madhukar, high performance coach for entrepreneurs, executives, athletes, students, and the founder of Skills Beyond Education. And my mission is to help people become high performers and high achievers in their career, business, and life. And today I have an amazing guest, Kala, who's so passionate about her mission, which is very close to mine, Skills Beyond Education. And I want Kala to talk more about it. And I'm very excited because she's not only an amazing author, best-selling author of a maths book, but she's also a great teacher of maths, and she's been helping parents and children so children can shine there. So, Kala, if welcome to this show, welcome to this episode. It's really good and great to having you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain.
And earlier before we started this, we were speaking in the backstage about your mission and how it's so connected with the skills beyond education. Can you share a little bit more about your mission?
Yeah. I'm on a mission to equip 1 million children with the right essential education. I will in a bit I'll be explaining what is essential education. So equip them with the right essential education so that they live a rich, courageous life,
Okay.
true to their potential. Now, why all this started, I'm on a mission and everything, why all this started is because I was a topper in school, right? 100 on 100 in mathematics always, and all of the subjects also above 95 and things like that. So not only school, college, or everything. But when you see, um, not very long ago, just 5 to 6 years ago, I came to a situation where I was jobless, penniless, zero bank balance, homeless, familyless, right? Nobody, me and my son alone. No home also. I came to that situation, and of course, many things contributed. But the point I was thinking is, my mother sacrificed so much. We were in a lower middle class family. She sacrificed so much, and she gave so much importance to my education. And I, being the fourth child, also, I understood that education is very important, and I put my full into that education, believing that education will make me ready for life, right? But that is the situation I came to just 6 years back. Fortunately, my mother was not alive to see that. Otherwise, should have thought, what is the point of all that sacrifice, all that education, despite our poverty? I got my daughter educated, and this is the situation she came to. When I realized that, then I understood that whatever we have learned in education is not sufficient. And the same thing only is happening even to this day. Even to this day, only the same kind of education. Of course, the schools have got extra activities. The parents also are sending children to extra activities like chess, football, all these things. But those are all not essential. Like every child has different talents, different skills, right? They want to develop different interests. That's okay, but there are some essential things that is required to live life, and that is not given in school. And I had to learn all of this after I fell down, after I came to the zero position, right? For example, just one example, Captain, is like, you're seeing me talk,
Yeah.
right? I'm not only a bookworm. I was getting, prizes in schools and colleges for public speaking.
Okay.
I speak well, but it is different than communicating. I was not connecting with people. And because of that, I never could collaborate in the team that I was working in a job. The competitive spirit was more in me than collaboration. I could not connect with people and thereby impact, good things in relationship with them, right? So it affected in all parts of my life. Let it be professional, personal. That's why I didn't have even family support, right? This is just one of the skills I'm saying. One of the things skills. Communication is way different than English language or public speaking. Okay, so this is was just one of the things. Then other thing is about the mind, right? About the mindset.
Yeah.
I was like very bad in mindset. I will tell. I was very bad. I was such an ungrateful person.
Mm.
Though I got so many things, I was very ungrateful. Just that one thing could take away every my happiness, everything, family, my achievements, everything. Those are the things that is required, essential, and few other things also, like financial literacy. I became moneyless not because I did not earn well, because I did not know to manage money well. I am a topper in mathematics. Being topper in mathematics has nothing to do with managing money. I
Absolutely.
didn't learn about money, managing money, right? And I've written my book also. How much ever you know, if you have not learned to manage money, you will become pauper someday.
True, true, true. I mean, beautifully captured. I think you capture the essence of what skills we need, especially in this 21st century. Beautifully captured. It reminds me a few things. And before we continue, I would like to thank all the viewers today who have tuned in, who have signed up today to watch this. Thank you so much for taking time out, and we hope to give you an amazing insights and breakthroughs and a lot of knowledge which Kala has gathered from her life, and I'm really very curious to learn more from her. So before sharing more, you raised few points which kind of stirred some things about the things that we learn in education today, which still continue to do today, and not much has changed. Little bit perhaps, right? And recently I was talking to my team, and we were talking about outdoor skills quotient, right? Outdoor skills quotient, like leave them somewhere. Are they able to even find themselves back and understand directions, understand the space element? Because one of the things which Howard Gardner also talks about, the seven intelligences. And although we are very good in this logical side, we're very good in the analytical and musical, we are still getting better now, artistic, but there are one or two which is very still not far, called the visual spatial intelligence. And that is something that not we are not really developing much, if to see how the other side is. And that's the kind of skill sets I think that you're working upon, and I can see what we are doing in the outdoor skills to build that visual spatial. So it just stirred when you spoke about your experience and all that. And I must commend the candidness with which you shared your story and the mission. Very inspiring. Thank you so much for doing so. I know it's very, very inspiring story to hear that.
Yeah.
And so going ahead, Kala, what would you tell parents? How should they help children prepare? The school is going to do what school is going to do, because they are bound by the syllabuses and the curriculum and the boards and the government. So how can parents then help their children?
Okay. So first thing is because I'm a mathematics teacher, very inclined to mathematics, I will talk include the mathematics part more, but those principles are can applied across whatever subject the child is studying. So many parents tell me that they are there's no practicality in what children are learning.
Hmm.
Okay, and whatever is learning, they're learning with the book. That's it. They're not using in practical life. Now, for such a question, I always ask back. Then, shouldn't you make them use it,
Hmm.
right? Of course, teachers in school can give them projects, but still there will be projects again that will go back to school only, not in real life.
Yeah.
So, in real life, to make them apply, parents only have to take the responsibility.
Hmm.
And for that, they don't have to do anything much, right? They just have to be aware of what children are learning. For example, I had one. high school student asked me, ma'am, what is this interest? And I'm not understanding. Compound interest chapter is very difficult. Then I told, do you know what is interest? I don't know, she said. And she is in ninth standard, right?
Mm.
Ninth standard. Then I asked, have you ever asked that to your parents or anything? I have asked them. I asked them, and they said, you will learn when you become older, right?
Yeah.
Now, that child is not aware of why banks exist.
Mm, mm,
What is
mm,
the meaning of interest?
mm.
Now, all these parents also will know. Just that parents have thought that this is for later. This is for later. You focus on your test. Test is coming up. Read for the test. If we just shift that mindset, that is enough. When children are generally curious, and if we take up at least 50% of their questions and try to answer, not even fully answer, try to answer with whatever we know.
Yeah.
Sometimes parents don't answer because they don't want to show their vulnerable side, that saying that I don't know this. Okay, when my son was very younger, he used to ask me questions, I was able to answer. Now he's asked me some things I don't know. Those are all some new concepts. Okay,
Mm.
something that has come about now. I'll tell him I don't know. Then he says, nowadays you started saying don't know too much. Then I say, yeah, because I don't know, because these are all new things, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you find out, I'll also find out. Let's learn together.
Yeah.
Okay. So when children are curious, answering them, and in this case, then I explained to my student why exist, what is the meaning of interest, why do we deposit money there. All that after I explained, that student was more interested in learning the actual subject, the actual topic that I was taking.
Yeah.
So, to generate interest in children, two things only you have to do. First thing, before a topic is started in a class, anything, let it be science or mathematics, whatever, ask them, or ask them to find out where that topic is used before. Like, for example, they're going to start, about something about science in heart system or something, circulation system. Ask them to watch little about circulation system before they go to the class next day. Then the second step you can do is, once they've learned it, ask them to apply it.
Mm.
Give them opportunity to apply. As parents, we don't have to know everything about that topic. It's about simple interest. Ask them to apply it for the home loan that you have taken, or some loan that you have, hand loan that you have taken with your relatives or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So the practicality you can bring in, parents only can do it.
Yeah.
Teachers don't have time.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I think because the true vested interest, especially for a child, is with the parents, all said and done, right?
Exactly,
And
exactly.
and
I always tell,
yeah.
who in the world will have the greater intent that your child should be successful than you, parents?
Yes. Absolutely.
Even a teacher like me, nobody, even Captain Preetham will not have more than you, parents. It's not
Absolutely.
possible.
Yeah. Each parent has got the best interest of the child. It's like only sometimes they may not know which side to go. They may seek some help. Teachers could come and go, but as a parent, you are probably the best role model for your child, right? It is only about now learning from people, from mentors, parent coaches and others. What can you do to tweak and become more better parent, right? And it actually reminds me, you're sharing about the interest story, that some of the best teachers, they say, is your first teacher. If your first teacher introduces your subject really well, you'll fall in love with it. And if they introduce the subject badly, you will just hate that subject. Yeah.
And who are the first teachers for a child?
No, not necessary. Could be parents, could be teachers.
Yeah, but then surely the foundations, everything parents, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly. And
But I'm
that's
saying the teacher's role also. Like I'm saying, there are
sure,
people
sure.
where they hate math because the math teacher didn't do such a good job, or they may love math because the math teacher was so good and
Exactly.
broke it down and simplified things. So The liking of a subject is so much connected with the person who's actually teaching that subject, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they can make or break or make a subject their favorite or say that I can't stand this subject. Yeah.
I tell parents only one advice. If you are looking for some teacher,
Mm.
at least you don't have any control over school teachers, but if you're looking for out of school teachers, the only qualification that you have to check is whether that teacher loves that subject,
Yeah.
because it's not just the concept or the thing that they're going to deliver. They're going to deliver the affiliation that they have, the love that they have for the subject, also to your child. If
Mm.
the teacher themselves don't love the subject, then that's not the place to go. Despite that tuition center might generate full results, no point.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The love for the subject, love for educating children, the kindness of the teacher, the all these factors are so central and important. And I would also like to thank all the viewers. If you have any questions for Kala or me, please do share. Kala is an amazing maths coach, best-selling author on a maths book, and she will be sharing. Kala, do you have that link that you could share on the book?
Yeah, sure.
So you can, I think it's on Amazon, correct?
Correct, it's on
Yeah.
Amazon.
It's on Amazon. You can buy the book there, and she's got this beautiful book written, which will give you a lot of insights on your how to build this maths capacity and preparing them for life. I'm also going to share another link about where you can find more about Kala. Okay, I'm going to share the book link as well. Okay, so one is about Kala. You can how to connect with her, how to reach her. The other one is about the Amazon book, which is a bestseller. So Kala has done her engineering, but she's done so many amazing things after that for the last 15, 16 years, and she's been an amazing parent coach and a maths coach. And Kala, moving ahead, um, what can children themselves do, especially young children? How can they build these life skills? What are your thoughts?
Okay. Now, children, if they have to learn naturally, right? They have to learn naturally, and very important is we have to understand the children's learning style. Some children learn by doing things, they call kinesthetic learners. Some children learn by listening, so they're auditory learners. Some children learn by seeing visual. And for young children, very young children, let's say 2 to 3 years and all, the kind of toys you expose them to, that makes them that kind of a learner.
Mm.
That is, if not only toys, whatever they expose to more, that is what makes them that kind of a learner. So if a child is only watching visual learners, so the selection of toys, selection of activities that you do for your children also have to be like in all categories. It cannot be only visual, it cannot be something only with doing like blocks and things like that. You should be using some other things also, right? So you will have to, simple, you don't have to research more. You just can follow people like me and many others also. And very important is practically, they have to use practically. Means, whatever, let it be square or a triangle and all those things, right? Whenever that is happening, ask them to look around themselves. Where is a square? Where is a rectangle? Where is a triangle? When they see that things around in their world,
Yeah.
then they connect it, and not only connect it, they also learn better.
Yeah.
Many parents ask me, what else can my child do apart from school things? There are many activity books, right? There are many activity books that's available in Amazon, right? Search for activity books and they can do it, and let them play in mud, water. Ask them to talk to strangers. Many times parents say, no, don't talk to strangers. No. What I used to do with my son is, I used to educate him in the sense that you can talk to people, but before you eat something that they're giving you, then you will have to ask me, very small child, 4 years, 5 years, and all. I used to let my son talk to people, and whenever this, so religious base on the religious basis, when people talk about Muslims, that this and all those things, I said no. All are human beings. They are very good people are there. World is good. When we keep saying, don't talk to strangers and all, we put in that fear, so that, and say they'll not communicate with people. They'll have that
Yeah.
isolation. And next thing is we have to build self-esteem in children. Self-esteem means they have to respect themselves. Okay, they have to respect themselves, and for that, the first and very important thing is, if your children are not performing very well in any subject, first thing is we have to eliminate, my child is not good in this. That sentence we should eliminate from our dictionary as parents, because as parents what we say becomes the reality for the child. And very important to bring in the growth mindset.
Mm.
So mention some things like this. Don't tell anybody if your child is not performing very well in subject. Don't tell. Don't give conclusions that your child is weak in this, weak in that. No, because every human being has infinite potential, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
it can be improved. It can be
Absolutely.
improved.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think beautifully, I want to share a story about another, one of the students who came for my mentoring. But before that, if you have any questions, people who are listening in, if you have any questions, please do put it in the comments chat box. It will come to us and we can take it up. And I have a couple of comments from people. I think Sridhar is talking about her communication earlier. Nimit saying hi, hi Nimit, hello to you. And there is Mamta who's saying that before I share something, I want to take this question, especially for you, Kala. This is what to do if I'm myself not good in that subject, tables, for example, for
Okay.
a parent. Yeah.
Okay. As parents, we might not be very good in anything, right? Some things, and we might be very good in some of the other things. So first, love ourselves. We might not be good in those things, but that doesn't mean we cannot. If I ask Mamta, can you learn maths tables now? Yes, you can, because you've learned so many other things. You can still do that. So it is not required that you have to be good in something to make your child good in that thing. For example, my son is learning Vedas, and I don't know anything about Vedas. I'm zero in that. Okay, I'm zero in that. But then I tell him only one thing: the foundation is whatever your acharya, the guru, is telling in Vedas, you have to follow. Let it be, he says, come at 5 o'clock in the morning, or whatever he says, practice 10 times, whatever he says, you have to do that. And and whenever he was going in the beginning, I used to support him. Now I leave him on his own. So see, I don't know Vedas, but my son is learning Vedas. I don't know Japanese. My son is learning Japanese. So it is okay that we don't know something. You can tell your children, it is not necessary that everybody should know everything, but maybe this is required for you in your life. So learn it. Okay. Or you can also give the example that because I don't know this, I'm not able to do this. So in that way also you can inspire children. Sharing vulnerability is the basis for a good relationship. It's a basis for good relationship with your children. And when you're sharing your vulnerability, when you don't know something, also telling children that, yeah, I don't know this, but because of this is happening, but if I have to learn now, I will learn it. If you tell this kind of thing, that children think, okay, and they'll also learn it. Simple.
Absolutely. I think once children also realize that parents, they have good intent, but they are human beings. They have their flaws, they have their weaknesses, especially for a teenage child and older kids. And showing that vulnerability is absolutely brilliant. I think completely concur. That's what, sometimes I tell the parents that who come to me, that show that side for a teenage child, and let them know that you're you're also fallible. You have your flaws, right? And let me just reintroduce Kala for those who may have been just joined in here. Kala is a maths whiz, maths coach, parent coach. She's a best-selling author, and it's amazing to have her here. And just to introduce myself, I'm Captain Preetham Madhukar, an elite performance coach who helps entrepreneurs, executives, students, athletes rise up to this best potential, become high performers. And I'm going to share a link here about how to find us. It's called skillsbeyondeducation.com. You can find more about us, more about what we do there, and maybe even connect with us. So, Skills Beyond Education. I'm also author of the book Three Culprits: Laziness, Fear and Doubt, a self-help book, which is available on Amazon. So let's continue, Kala. And thank you, viewers, for taking time out. It's amazing always to have you. Please drop your messages, your comments. Give us a like if you like this, what you're getting. Share this with others. You'd be helping us a lot to reach this message to many more parents, many more people in wherever, whichever channel you're watching this. So, Kala, I have another question. I think this is from Mamta. I think part of what you just shared. I told him it's part of life skills. He has asked me, how much am I using them? I think Kala has already shared. Be vulnerable. Tell them that this is what it is. You're using what it is, but sometimes you have to prepare. Not everything in life you have to like, right? Sometimes you have to do things what you don't like, but you have to do them because it's your job, it's your duty. Maybe as a child, it's his job to study that subject and pass on so you can do other great things, then that becomes part of the job, part of your duty. Because today we have sometimes made that like is so important. Everything we have to like to do, not necessary, right? You have an old parent, a pet you have to take for a walk. I don't like to take it, but you have a pet, take them for a walk. You have a parent who's ill, you need to give them some medicines. Aged parent, then do it. You may not like it, but do it. So that's the value system you need to give the skills beyond education, and that's what they will take away for themselves.
Very rightly said, Captain. Yeah, we have to. Very rightly said. You strike down the nail. Now, parents think mostly that only if children are interested, we should make them do. No, of course, generate interest in them. But if they're not interested, also they might have to do. For example, if they go further in the job, they might not like to do the Excel sheets and presentations, but still they have to do that. Otherwise, it's the job is not complete, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So like is important, but once we committed on the journey, then we have to stick on to it till it reaches, and then we can have a choice of saying, I don't want to do it anymore. But during that voyage, we can't jump off the ship. There is nowhere to go but into the sea. And so, from that aspect, I think being vulnerable, telling them to stick to their job. For a child, the duty or the job is to study, and they must do that. So I have another question. This is from DKS. How can we encourage a 10-year kinesthetic learner? Please share. Hey DKS, if you can also share some context, that will help. But if not, probably we will just give a very generic answer at this point. Kala, yours.
Okay, so the number one, I say this is the brahmastra that parents have. With this, you can motivate any kind of child, for any subject, for anything. They can become lifelong self-motivated children. And what is that? And that is you, parents. Your story, why you are making them study, and what was your journey as a student, and that studying where that education where it has led you, right? Example, I told my story. Though education, I was topper, I came to the zero position. I share that with my son. You could have been a success in your as a student or as a failure. Both can become inspirational stories for your children. If you have been a success, you can say that I have got this much and I want you to go more than that. Explain your story to them. Okay. Or if you have not been so very successful according to you, you can say that I have not been successful because of not doing this, but I want you to become more successful than I am. Right. Either way, your journey, your story as a student can motivate your child for lifelong. And one more thing that to include to motivate your children is Tell them the sacrifices that you're making, the compromises you're taking, right? For example, you are compromising your whatever health or something and working long hours so that you can get that hike, so that you can put your child in that good school. Your child will not know until you tell them. Tell them. And many parents they say that why should we say our sad story to our children? And as parents, it's our duty to do all of that. Why should we boast about it? It's not about boasting. It's about making children know the value of it, right? The value of what they are getting. And in your old age, they should respect you. And for that, they should know and remember what all you have done. And if they don't know, they just cannot connect with you. And I'm not saying tell it egoistically or tell it while you're angry at them, I'm doing so much for you. Not during those times. Calmly calmly with emotion, you tell them, or I'm doing all these sacrifices because I was not able to do or get or do something. I am making sure whatever happens in my life, I want you to get this.
Yeah.
Tell that in an emotional, very calm way, and you will see your children will be self motivated, encouraged for any kind of learning. They will be,
So
because they love you, right?
brilliant, brilliant. And DKS, just to share a few thoughts. I mean, Kala has already shared some amazing inputs. But for a kinesthetic learner, in case you want them to get better at studies, I'm just taking a guess. I don't know what subject you're speaking about, but allow them a lot of movement. Two things I would say: ask them to create a lot of movement. That means they must play a lot, they must move a lot, they must do a lot of things, even though it has got nothing to do with learning. Okay, you have to burn that excessive kinesthetics through playing, through doing action, doing a lot of body work, yoga. They could do yoga, do anything like that. The second thing that I would advise is, when they are learning, allow them a lot of movement. Let them walk around. I know it's not possible for all subjects. If you're doing maths, you need to probably sit and work. But let's say it's a some studies that they can just read up, history or science or something like that. Allow them a lot of walking. Let them hold the book and walk around, pace around. Remember, sometimes you may be having your friends or you yourself maybe one where you would like to walk around and read and study, by heart something. So those are all kinesthetic, but our schooling focuses everything should sit on a table for hours together, very inhuman and what you can say not normal, and study in that kind of setting. So kinesthetic learners struggle one of the most, right? So you can't do much in school because, like I said, school will do what school does, and but at home when children come, allow them to walk around. Okay, they don't have to sit on the table. Don't be like, Hare, sit on the table and study. Say, okay, you take the book, walk around the house here and there, and keep reading it up. Their learning capacity will build, because when the kinesthetics, the left leg keeps moving, right leg keeps moving, you're not stationary, your learning capacity builds. For such kinds of learner, I've observed that they definitely will improve. Okay, I'm not saying they will suddenly turn the thing, but definitely you'll see marked improvement. So I hope it helps, DKS. I hope you got some value here for your child.
Captain, I just want to add one thing. My student was a kinesthetic learner, and the same multiplication tables, the child was not able to grasp or learn. And the parent was making them sit and tell it again and again. It will not work because he's not an auditory learner. Auditory learners tell, and learn. And multiplication tables, everybody thinks that they should tell and learn. No,
Yeah.
what we did is I asked the parent to the stick the tables, right? Three times one, three times two, three times three. The stickers, no papers. Stick it on the staircase. And I asked the parent to climb up, and reading that climb up,
Mm.
read, and while coming down he's learning the table of four, right?
Yeah.
Four times one. So with that he was able to learn till table 10 or anything within a week. He was
Nice.
able to do.
Superb, superb. Brilliant. I think completely spot on. In one's questions, you can make it into a song, make tables into a song, make something else into
Yeah.
a little bit of rhyming, little bit of sing song, a little bit of, and you'll start seeing their capacity to learn improves. That's why some people love music. They want to have something in the background because the subject itself is dry, so the music adds to that learning capacity. So whatever is working, you have to experiment a little. Maybe sometimes you could be in different phases and something will click for you. So I hope all the viewers are getting some amazing insights for your children or for yourself. And Kala has been sharing some amazing, you know, tactics that you can use for yourself. The staircase, I really love that. I think it's brilliant way of which children can do, especially the kinesthetic learners. So Kala, moving on, I think DKS was one subject. All the subjects, I'm assuming yes, you can try for all the subjects at home. Like I said, some needs, if you have some artistic, you have to sketch something, you can't do all that. But whatever is possible, you can use some movement for the kinesthetic learners. Okay, and with time they will get better and they will need less of that movement because it's getting met. The need is getting met somewhere else. Maybe they're playing enough. Okay, kinesthetic learners definitely keep the media less. That means watching television. Let them go out and play. Video game is not really playing. Okay, they have to go out and play something. So they have to enjoy those kind, give them those kind of opportunities so that when they come to the study part, it becomes that much more easier, and add movement there also. So that's for you, DKS. Hope it helps. And Kala, continuing ahead with, there are so many questions I have for you. I don't know if we'll get time to address them all. And thanks to the viewers for asking all these wonderful questions. Uh, what practices can people or parents do to inculcate values in children? What can they do at home or otherwise?
Okay. So the first thing is spending some time with children, especially bonding time, right? Early in the morning when children wake up, spending some 10 minutes with them and showing them the love. At that 10 minutes, not doing anything else, but just loving them with touching and words and all those things. And talking about imaginary things, especially their dreams, right? And what happens, this one builds self esteem and love in children. And once they are getting connected to you, then anything you say or teach will get inside them. Is not built because of this activity. Nothing you tell, nothing, you might be a very good person with a lot of good values, nothing of those things will get transferred to the child. Bond, like a bridge is first required. So what is the activity? Bonding, 10 minutes bonding time as soon as children get up. Then a bonding time of reading, especially reading books, is very important for inculcating values. Value based books, many things are there, Panchatantra and all those things are there. So reading books, let it be whatever kind of learner, kindness declare, whatever. When they are about to sleep, reading with the child, right? Reading with the child, I said. It's not like, child, you take the book and read. That's again like schoolwork. No,
Yeah.
you spend the 10 minutes with the child. So the first thing is bonding time. The second thing is, when children have developed little bit, they have grown up little bit, ask them to do journaling. Okay, there are many good journals. Okay, one journal name I'll tell also, tinklebuds.in. Tinklebuds, that journals are very fantastic for children, especially it is there. And if they can do their values journal, happiness journal, leadership journal, all these kinds of journal are there. Children can write that. In that, what happens? Where are they getting angry? Why are they getting angry? All those things, it is mentioned, and many stories are there. When children put out what is inside them, okay. And the third thing is building, building their emotional vocabulary. Means children don't know, they're just sad. Why they're sad, they're not able to tell. So whatever be happening in your life, if there is some extreme emotion in your child, taking that time of spending that 5 minutes, making them able to, pinpoint the word or vocabulary of what is that they're feeling. If they are able to do those things, then these are the most simple basic things that is required. One is the bonding time. Without that, nothing is happening. Nothing's going to happen. Second thing is journaling, where children are self-expressing themselves. And third thing is when children are in very extreme emotions, that is the time to inculcate values in them. Now, for example, they're very sad. Now you can inculcate the value of gratitude in them. They're sad that they were not able to go for some place or something. Then that's an opportunity for a parent to tell them about gratitude, how you can be grateful for what you have and all those things.
Yeah.
So use this third opportunity. Whenever children are in very extreme emotion, take out that time and talk to them. And if you've already done the first activity of connecting with your children, then this emotional time is an opportunity for you to put in the values in children. And I don't have to tell, you all know good values. You all having great values. You can just impart it to children.
Yeah, super. I mean, having brilliantly captured values, but one particular thing about bonding that you mentioned, stirred something that I thought I'll share with the viewers about the importance of giving a hug to your child. And today we become very alienated, very clinical almost. So take this opportunity, because the children are not going to be children forever. They're going to be grown up adults, and soon they will fly away like the bird flies away from its nest. And give them a hug, maybe in the morning or in the evening before they go to school, or when they come back, whatever works, because we are all people who are working and all that. So give them a nice warm hug, you know because that warmth builds that emotional capacity, gives them that kindness, gives them that connect with human beings, which no just verbal conversations can give. Okay, that's why tribals, they're more warmer people in general, because they are so much more physically bonded. So give that warmth. Warmth is so much of an important element to build in ourselves and in our children. So give them that warmth. And the other thing that I would also like to talk about is giving them, like how you mentioned, the emotional capacity. Building that emotional vocabulary is so much more important today if they have to express themselves freely. Okay, being vulnerable, sharing them yourself, so they understand how you're sharing your sadness. What are you, the richness of sharing your happiness? How are you sharing those happiness? What are the words that you're using? How are you describing all that? The children will pick up, because they imitate us. They learn from imitation, they learn from observing. So all these things can come. So give them that warmth, give them that hug. I think that itself, you'll find both healing for you, healing for the child, and definitely make them into more better human beings. So
Very good, Captain. I just love this idea of what you're saying, hug, because I just remember just before the session started, my son was like, "Give me a hug." So it's like, okay, so we make it. So, how many times do we tell our children, "I love you"? Very important. And I'm telling you, this like it's like you're putting in account. How many times you tell that? That many times they are going to tell us back when we are old.
mm,
Okay, that's all emotional currencies that we are adding in account.
yeah.
And how many hugs we are giving, that much reciprocation we will get when we are also old.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely said. And just that, it's just warmth, warmth of a human being. Why do we crave a touch of another human being? Why do we crave the presence of another human being? The warmth, that individual. We can talk to walls, we can talk, but it's not the same when we talk to another human being. The warmth is there, right? That's why that's really a rich experience only a human being can give, right? So just to share, I mean, people, if I know there are a lot of amazing questions coming up, thank you so much for that. And make sure, we still have a little bit time to go. Do give this a like, do give this a share, follow the pages or follow the channels wherever you may be watching. It will really inspire us and motivate us to keep bringing such content, bringing some amazing speakers like Kala and so many more. And there was one question by DKS, I think, about the website. It is Skills Beyond Education for Personal Growth and Development. I'm a high performance coach for entrepreneurs, executives, athletes, students, to help them reach up to their full potential, become high performers and high achievers. And Kala is an amazing maths whiz, a parenting coach who's makes children like a math genius and tells them how to prepare for life mainly. most importantly for parents and children. And you can find her. I've shared that link tree link, Kala at Karteyan, and you can find her there. The link is already on the chat box. And Kala, continuing ahead, what kinds of how do children handle distraction? I mean, what can they do about it? And especially today, given that there is so much more distraction with social media, digital media, access to so many toys and things like that, distraction is a given.
Yeah. First, I would like to. My mindset changed because of reading this book called Indistractable, right? By Nir Eyal. Okay, Nir Eyal. You can note it down and you can also read it. Distraction is not from the things that is there around us. It is something which is inbuilt inside us. Are we saying that people like we when we were studying we didn't have distraction? Though that time no toys were there, no not much was there, still we were distracted, right? So it's distraction does not lie in the object. For example, now I am talking with captain here, and on my screen many other tabs are open. Am I opening it? No. Some notifications are coming. Am I seeing it? No. Why? Distractions are there but I'm not seeing it. So distraction does not lie outside, it lies inside us. And why it comes also is because three things called psychological nutrients are not fulfilled. One is sense of achievement. If your children are thinking that array no use of studying this, how much ever I study I'm getting that much marks only, in that subject where they're studying they will not study focusedly. If you see some other subject where they where they like it and they score well, when they study that subject they'll not be distracted.
Mm,
So the distraction is not outside, the distraction is there inside them, they're not achieving more in that. So you have to fix that problem. Then even if mobile is there beside them they will not watch. Then the second thing is sense of belonging, right? Sense of belonging means what is that? No. Sometimes if they're not very good in that subject, they're sidelined in class also, right? They don't know much, and teacher focuses on answering the students who are very good, right? So they don't get the sense of belonging. And at home also, if that is the case, they're being judged based on that score or marks or things like that. They don't get the sense of belonging. And I have seen that when parents come to me for all these things, I do sessions for that also. When I tell parents include family time, just including that family time every day
yeah.
has reduced distraction levels in children. How come? Family time means eating together or making the child prepare some snack and giving it to everybody. It's like some bhel puri, simple snack, right? Bhel puri or just a sandwich. Making the child do it every week once. That kind of things and all. And I've also asked parents, give them some housework, putting out the trash, drying the clothes. That's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Then they feel belong to that family. When they feel belong to that family, that the psychological nutrient gets satisfied. I'll also explain how this is connected to the games. So first thing is sense of achievement, then sense of belonging, sense of choosing, right? Sense of choosing. Third thing is sense of choosing. Many times we don't let our children choose at all. For example, they have to go to school at 7:30 in the morning. No choice. They have to study that social only because the teacher is teaching. The child is now, maybe for example, previously they were studying science, and suddenly now the period changes, social teacher has come. The child is too much into understanding that science, and now they have to switch to
Yeah.
studying social. They don't have choice at all.
Yeah.
And they come back, no choice. Right, do your homework only. Put on these clothes only. Later on only study. Later on only play. So no choice. When that is not fulfilled, they get distracted. Just like for somebody being obese, it is not just they're eating. Why they are eating also is the cause. Like that. Now, how this mobile games or any gadgets, any toys, especially mobile games, if I say how they fulfill these nutrients is because when you see a mobile game, what happens? First thing is they can only choose what kind of avatar, what game to download. Everything they have a choice. In a virtual world, they're fully they are free to choose from. Then the second thing is one level, they finish one level, they start getting rewards, right? Sense of achievement is there. Sense of achievement they get. Then the third thing is sense of belonging. As soon as one level is over, they'll show the leaderboard. You are in this level, 10th level, 12th level, in the full of community. So many online players are there, you are in this level. So this they start feeling belonged to the virtual community than to the family, than to the classroom. Because of these three psychological nutrients getting satisfied in the mobile game, that is why they're going to mobile game. But now, instead, if we start satisfy the psychological nutrients outside, then children will not even have the thing of I want to belong to this community. No, he doesn't. No, for example, my child also. I focus on his sense of belonging to the family. I focus on his sense of choice. I let him choose when to study. I ask him, do you want to study first or do you want to play first? But I want you to finish, right? What do you want to do first? I give him a choice, giving him choice, then sense of belonging and sense of achievement. If he's not able to achieve in something, I fix the problem and make him achieve that. Or I also give him some other activity or where he has talent so that he gets a sense of achievement. Now your child will be very good in sports and maybe we are not giving them at all the chance, so they go to mobile, right? Because they need that. It's a nutrient, just like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, it's just like that. We need that nutrient, and that nutrient is not there in their real life. Then they search for it in a virtual life and they get it there, and they stick it there, they stick there. That's all. There's nothing more different, right? We want more in detail. You can my social media, then I give personalized plan also what you can do, so that children don't even feel like taking the mobile also.
Superb, superb. I think I'll just share Kala's link again where you can find. Uh, Kala, if you can also share that link with me, I think I do have it. I have
Yeah, got it there. Yeah,
book, the book link.
the book link, right?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, and I've also shared the link where you can find Kala and connect with her. She's an amazing parent coach, and she will give you a lot of insights for yourself. And just to read some comments, we have some comments here which I just probably skipped that time. Mamta says, "Thank you so much for the advices and things that we shared." DKS, okay, he says, "Sure, we'll apply this tips. Thank you so much, sir and Kala ma'am." And DKS, is it okay to listen to music while reading? Absolutely. You have to see which one is working for you. Is it improving or are you getting distracted? The answer will give you clarity on whether you should listen to music. But at the same time, keep it light, I would advise, so that it's not becomes the primary focus from your studies. Little bit light music is good and it can motivate you. And Tiju says, I used to move around while studying during my school days. Glad to know this is an effective way. Welcome, Tiju. Hope it got some clarity and breakthroughs. And Mamta is like beautifully explained, ma'am. Thank you for your nutrient insight. Welcome, Mamta. Glad that you could get all these insights. Please don't forget to like this. Don't forget to share this so more people can benefit, more parents can benefit. Maybe it was that just one message they were looking for, like how DKS was looking, or Teju or somebody. Maybe they would get that breakthrough for themselves and make sense of things. So do follow, do reach out to us. I've shared my own website called skillsbeyondeducation.com. Once you visit that, you'll get more information and you can connect with us there. So Kala, for before we come to the close, any final thoughts on how children can prepare for the coming days, coming years in their life?
So many things will be changing in life, right? Now AI has come. Previously it was mobile, Android, right? So
Yes.
Android, remember Captain? It was like Android. Everybody was into Android app development. Few
Yes.
years back, just some 7 8 years back,
Mm.
everybody was into Android app development. Everybody's trying to do that, and now everybody's trying to do AI based things, right? They're doing.
Mm.
So those kind of things will keep changing, right? It will keep changing. But one thing I'll tell you, one is thing is irreplaceable. That is what human beings can do. What are the things that human beings can do that machines cannot do even now? Is having creativity. So ensure that your children improve their creativity. How you can do it, follow us and do research and things like that. But we're just giving you one, just the direction we're giving you. So creativity is something machines cannot do. And that can happen only from the human brain. Irreplaceable it is. Then the second thing is emotional intelligence. You know, you can replace any kind of bank employee, but you cannot replace a manager because he manages people, manages things, manages customers, has that human connect and all those things, right? So that the emotional intelligence, leadership qualities, these things are irreplaceable, right? And the third thing is put in some important essential things in your children's life. Essential things, for example, mindset related things is very, very essential. For especially mind, I talk in my book saying there are six powers in mind called imagination, intuition, will, reason, perception, and memory. These six faculties, how you can improve. Then the third thing among all the thing is third thing is essential education, where one is about the mind. The second thing about the financial literacy. Every child has to deal with money. So start educating them, giving them financial literacy. And one of the other educational essential education is spirituality. Very, very important, because without spirituality, children, they could have achieved anything, but they will not know how to be happy, because happiness does not lie in even in the achievement that I've made. It lies inside me, irrespective of I made achievement or not. And for that, spirituality is the basis. And spirituality you have to give children. So I talk about three M's: M, and S. Math, because it's there in every career. Then it's a mind, about the mindset. Third thing is about another M is about money. Math, mind, money, and then the last thing is spirituality. So these four at least is the essential of all. So give this. It is a foundation. This will never change. AI might change. AI might become something else. But this four will never change. It's essential.
Absolutely. I think once people learn the skill set, the mindset for living in any kind of environment, then it doesn't matter the external things. Even if they changes, they will be able to survive, manage that uncertainty. Brilliantly put, Kala. It was wonderful having you here, getting all these insights. I'm sure many people have got just the things that they came here for. Thank you to all the viewers who have taken time today to be here with us. I'm really glad and grateful to you. And this show and will be available both recorded, and if you've been live, then I'm sure you've asked some questions, and if not, the recorded will be available on the channel. Do give us a like, do give this a share, and do follow so you can get more such amazing sessions coming your way. Thank you so much, everybody. Wishing you a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you for spending so much time with us. And thank you, Captain, for inviting me and letting me share my wisdom in my life. And that's why we are here for. Happy to share all those things. Thank you for giving me the platform.
Thank you, Kala, for being here, taking time out. Really wonderful. Bye bye. Bye bye,
Bye bye.
everybody.